What is up, dudes and lady dudes? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we're here again with the new archetype tier list. We've had a little bit of changes. We've had 2 new archetypes revealed since the last time we did start, I guess, the first video of this series that I kind of want to keep updating because it's really fun for me. And hopefully I'll get better at guesstimating where these new archetypes will land out. But yeah, so we've gotten what I think like 7 of the archetypes from last time have come out, right? 4 of them came out of Phantom Rage. Big set for new archetypes, honestly. And then we got the 3 new ones from the Genesis Impact deck build pack. So we have all those. We're going to be talking about those here as well, and then we're going to be going on. So, okay, so starting off, let's just start with Phantom Rage, which came out before Genesis Impact. We'll start with Su-10, okay? Originally, I put tier 3 for Su-10, but man, this deck does nothing. And honestly, I'm putting it in tier 14. It's rough to say that, but like, it's just the god honest truth at this point. They're rough. They need a lot of power cards. They do have some interesting cards. They've got searchability. They have some decent utility cards, but their extra cards are like garbage, and you just like throw their garbage extra deck monsters on the field and they do nothing for you. Well, close to nothing. They do some things, but it's nowhere near. I don't even think it's tier 3. So yeah. Next up is Mutant, and I wouldn't quite put Mutant as bad as Su-10. I think I'll still put Mutant in tier 3. I think that's about where I had him before, so that works there. Tri-Brigade, yeah, Tri-Brigade's moves down. I think originally I had Tri-Brigade in tier 2, but I think I just overestimated him. And even now we have like Infernoble and Dragon Link like hit on the ban list, and the deck still does nothing. Zodiac's fine. Not Tri-Brigade though, so we'll see what happens for them. And then we have this bad boy right here, Virtual World. I think I had Virtual World tier 2. I'm going just off memory here, but I did not think it was going to be tier 1, and it is pure tier 1. It's a legit good deck. And it's going to be for the next couple formats. I do think it does have some consistency issues. We are set to get another trap for the deck in Blazing Vortex, and I think we're going to get another spell in Lightning Overdrive. That's obviously it's not confirmed, but I think the way the gates work, because I believe all of the gates translating from Japanese to English, in the Japanese translations they read like South Gate, North Gate, whatever, and we have 2 traps now with the new trap coming in Blazing Vortex and 1 spell, all giving 3 cardinal directions, but we don't have the 4th one. I don't know which one that is. I don't remember off the top of my head because that's not how they actually did when they printed them in English. But yeah, if we get another spell, that would be a huge buff for consistency for them, but we'll obviously have to see when that comes through. All right, so that's about where they ended up. I think I had them in tier 2, but they did better than that, so good on them. Next up, we have the Genesis Impact stuff. So starting off with Magistus here, I think I had Magistus in tier 2. I think I put a lot of stuff in tier 2. I thought a lot of stuff was better than it was going to be. And listen, I'm gonna put Magistus in tier 3, but that's only because after the first week or 2 we have right now with Magistus, well, I guess 2.5, including the European, Yu-Gi-Oh countries having it. It hasn't really done anything. Technically, I've seen some deck profiles for Magistus Shadalls, but I don't think that's the best build. And not being the best build means a lot of people aren't going to be playing it in competitive events, so it really hasn't done much. Now, I think it's definitely 100% way better than Su-10, so I still think it fits into tier 3 here. But it's mostly just fun for the time being, but we're almost surely going to get more cards for the archetype. Next up, we have Evil Twins. Now, originally I put Evil Twins in tier 2. I had higher hopes for them. I still think they are a solid engine and also very splashable, but I think I got to move them down to tier 3 again. It's the same thing as Magistus. I still think they have the potential to be combined with other strategies. Maybe like I've seen people play with like Dogmatica, Eldritch Evil Twins kind of decks, and I do think they could be pretty good control decks. We just haven't seen it come through with any tournaments yet, so I'm going to move it down to tier 3 for the time being. We'll see where it goes from there, though. All right, and then next up we have Drytron. Drytron I think I put in tier 3, and this is definitely my furthest one off. I put it in tier 3, and look at it now. It's literally a tier 1 deck. In fact, these 2 decks are tier 1. Dinos are arguably going to be one of those decks that could be tier 1. And right now, it doesn't seem like there's another deck that's like very convincingly in tier 1, which is really, really funny. So Drytron, I knew it was a good generic engine. I just didn't know it was that much of an upgrade over the incantations. I thought these were like better incantations, but I didn't know they were so much better. They were going to do this for rituals, and it really is way better than I thought. It's a cool deck. It really is. It's a crazy combo deck, so just be wary of that. They're looping Ben 10s now, so I don't think I think Ben 10's days in Yu-Gi-Oh are now numbered, because she is just abused out the booty hole in this deck, and you know, you'll see that if you play this deck ever. But yeah, so that is where everything lines up, opposed to where I had it originally. Yeah, I mean, I missed some things. I did. But it's hard. It really is hard to just read a deck's cards and be like, that's tier 1, that's tier 2, that's tier 3. Doesn't mean I'm not going to do my best to get them as accurate as I can. So now we move to our new archetypes here that we've had revealed since the last time we did these things. First off, we have the Holy Knight archetype. This is coming in the OCG Selection 10, and most likely will be coming in Ghosts from the Past. It makes sense because it's based off of Searu, the old vanilla dragon from like original Yu-Gi-Oh, like DM stuff. So I guess that makes sense based off of the set. I think this archetype comes down to tier 3. I don't think it's good enough to be tier 2 just yet. I do think it has some potential, but it really is one of those archetypes where it's so built around your one boss monster that if your opponent has a way to either keep you off of it or neutralize it when it hits the field, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. It is a cool deck, though. It can take advantage of really cool cards like Ties of the Brethren is a pretty cool card in the deck. You know, they're light fairy, so they have some synergy with like generic fairy stuff as well. So there definitely is some avenues where this deck can do some things, but I really don't see it eclipsing tier 3. But yeah. And then we have our other new archetype. This is the deck I'm most excited about out of all the new archetypes we have in the game as of right now. And I'm going to put them in tier 2. This is the Amazement or Amusement. I don't know exactly which names they'll go with once they come out in English. This is a new trap-based deck. They pretty much have traps that equip to yours or your opponent's monsters, and you get specific effects depending on which ones they get equipped to. They have an insane new boss monster that can not only be used in his deck, but he can be splashed in other trap decks, which is very, very good. And this card's insane. I didn't even talk about this in the video. It's like if you have this card in permanence, he summons himself when any trap is activated. So you can impermanence your opponent going second, then use his effect to special summon himself. Then he has an effect, if your opponent ever summons a monster, you can just immediately from the deck equip one of your traps. And that could be a Book of Moon effect. So essentially like him plus impermanence is having like a monster gate and a Book of Moon going second, which is pretty damn nice. And you keep the 2600 body. Pretty good. So yeah, I think, and I don't even think the engine's that crazy so far, but I do think it has a couple cards that are just not only pretty, like really good for the archetype to start out with, but they're generically splashable in other trap-based decks. And so I think that's going to be a huge point for them. We could easily see this being played with like Paleozoic decks. You could see that. I could see this being played with Trap Tricks type stuff. Maybe even something like Subterrors is just an additional engine that's just generic and good. I could see a lot of different things going on with this deck, and I think that'll propel it to tier 2 in some way, shape, or form. And of course, we're probably destined to get more cards in future sets after Blazing Vortex, and I think that'll be really, really nice for this deck. But I'm a big fan of this deck. I cannot wait to get my hands on these cards, and I hope you guys feel the same. Okay, so from here, the last thing I want to talk about before I end the video is a couple things I'm expecting, right? Because we always have new products coming. So I want to talk about the next couple decks we should be expecting to get in the next couple of weeks or month and a half-ish period. We have one more TCG exclusive archetype guaranteed, already announced for Blazing Vortex, and Blazing Vortex comes out to us at in the first week of February. Okay, we're almost out of December, so we're about a month and a week away, so 5 weeks away. We'll probably start getting stuff revealed for those last 20 TCG exclusive cards 2 weeks, maybe a week before the set comes out. So within the next 3 to 4 weeks, we will get that archetype revealed. So there's an archetype there that we're going to get to add to this list. this tiering list too. Then we also have Ancient Guardians. Ancient Guardians is the next deck build pack. They just announced the pack itself and the artwork, so we'll see. We'll probably get one archetype at a time, so I don't know if I'll make a video every time an archetype's revealed, but I might just mention it when I'm reviewing the archetype, how good I think it is just off the top, just, you know, off of initial impressions and stuff. But sometimes I like to space them out, so we might get the first one revealed in the next couple weeks, then the next one revealed in a couple weeks after that, and then the third one revealed obviously closer to the reveal of the actual set. So that's really cool. And then I guess the other thing is Lightning Overdrive. We're about halfway through getting that set revealed. I wouldn't be surprised if there's one more archetype, because technically we only have one new archetype, I think, in Lightning Overdrive. I'm trying to think of what that archetype is. I can't even think right now. What is it? Oh, man. I can't even... Oh, this is it, right? This isn't Blazing Vortex. This is... Okay, that's right. It's Amazement. Amazement is the archetype in Lightning Overdrive, not Blazing Vortex. I mixed that up somehow. But this is the only new archetype so far revealed for Lightning Overdrive. So we might have a TCG exclusive there, but obviously we're a bit ways away from that. But there might be another one just in the set itself. So yeah, we have 4 archetypes we know are coming, and we have potentially 1 or 2 more coming in Lightning Overdrive, and that's just what we know of right now. We might get more stuff down the line, but that's at least what we have on the horizon for the time being. Very, very excited. Once we get more of those revealed, I'll definitely be updating these tiers and talking about those, and I honestly can't wait. I like this series a lot. Hopefully you guys do as well, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Subscribe if you haven't, and peace.